My name is Eve Laws and I am a registered dietitian, and I love to teach people that healthy eating doesn't have to be mission impossible. A healthy lifestyle doesn't have to be mission impossible. Here on Mission Nutrition, I teach people healthy tips, tricks, and of course recipes to get you started on a healthy journey right now. Today's mission is spicing up your life and adding more lovely spices into our food. Not only do they have nutritional benefit, but they add such good flavor. And to be honest, sometimes I get overwhelmed in the spice aisle. I'm probably not as generous enough as I need to be for spices. So who better to talk to us than Sylvia Parks?
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, thank you.
This is Sylvia Parks. She's a chef and owner of Indian Plates, and my goal right now is to add more spices into my meals and add more flavor. So if I'm gonna start cooking Indian foods, what are the key ingredients that I would need or spices?
Okay, so what I totally suggest, the first spice and main spices are Gutta Masala. This one has about 8 to 12 different spices. It's considered your allspice, and it's going to give you the flavor that you're looking for when you're making Indian cuisine. Okay?
Right, so I'm not having to buy a bunch of different spices.
Yeah, it's your main spice,
perfect.
But what to do is you want to complement it with some other spices, like a paprika we'd be using over here. You'd use some turmeric. At times, depending on what recipe you're doing, but the recipe we're going to be making, we will use the turmeric, and if you want a little bit of heat, you're going to add some cayenne pepper as well. We always want to add a little bit of heat, but not always Indian food has to be spicy, but it's a blend of all the spices together to make it very flavorful. Okay, so we got our onions, we have some tomatoes, and now we're going to
get some okra.
Yes.
So what are we making today?
So we are making an Indian dish called bindi, and it is okra or lady fingers. It's found over here. You can get it packaged or loose. I like to prefer to pick my own, so I like it when it's loose. But you want to just make sure that you're picking the same length and size so they cook nice and even and they're tender. And then you want to make sure you cook them right away, because if you leave them in the fridge for a day or so, they might get a little slimy because they have that texture to them. Yeah, so you want to, as soon as you get them, you want to know you're making it the same day or the very next day to keep ultimate freshness.
Let's get some okra.
Excellent. So I'll pick some out for us.
I'm excited to try with the spices because I think alone,
yes,
it doesn't seem very appealing, and it probably doesn't taste that good by
very,
itself, right?
And it's a different dish, right? Nobody usually uses this, so it's a nice way to show you guys how to make something really quick and easy and delicious using Indian spices.
Yeah, I never think to get the okra, but today, we're gonna do it.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm excited.
Perfect. People of the world, spice up your life with seasonings and fresh spices. So when you're spicing up your food, you don't just have to think of dried herbs. There's a lot of fresh spices that will make you shake. So number one is ginger spice. Who doesn't like ginger spice, right? She was one of my favorites until she left, but I do honestly love ginger. It's so good for inflammation. It's also really good for digestion. So people with IBS, highly suggest. Then we got baby spice, but don't be fooled by their size. These things are spicy. These are green Thai chilies, and these really add a lot of heat. A little bit goes a long way, but this and coconut milk makes a lovely stir fry. So don't be scared, give it a try. Then we got Posh Spice with turmeric because it's very trendy and for good reason. It's really good for anti-inflammatory properties, and so it's really good if you have arthritis or you're just wanting to be healthy and be posh. And then for Sporty Spice is all about staying healthy and being fit. So cilantro and herbs are a great way to add flavor without adding any calories. So definitely highly recommend a good cilantro if you want to get your sport on. And then finally we got Scary Spice with the jalapeno. But don't be scared of spicy foods. Jalapenos, really the only spicy part is the seeds. So if you are afraid of heat, just remove the seeds. And some jalapenos aren't even that spicy. So don't be scared and spice up your life, people. So I'm super excited to get started and try this because, to be honest, sometimes I avoid these certain spices.
Yes, absolutely. You're going to enjoy the recipe, and I can't wait to see you in the kitchen.
All right, let's go cook. We are in the kitchen with the amazing Sylvia Parks. She is the owner of Indian Plates, and I had the pleasure once of doing one of her private cooking classes. And I love working with Sylvia because she teaches you how to use different spices and different ingredients in an amazing and delicious way. So tell me a little bit about what we're going to be making today.
Well, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. So thanks so much. So today we're making a side dish, and it's called bhindi, and it's an Indian curry vegetarian dish, and it's using something that you might not be too used to, which is okra. Have you used this vegetable before?
I've used it once before, but it's not something I normally go for, no.
Okay, so when you use okra, it's actually very fast and easy. In Indian cooking, we're using cooking from the north of India, New Delhi area, and the okra that we're going to use today, what you want to make sure you do is when you buy it, you want to use it within 2 days, okay? Because it starts to it's got a more of a slimy gooiness to this, vegetable. And then what you want to do is you want to wash it thoroughly, and you want to dry it with a tea towel and make sure it's thoroughly dry. So we've already done that ahead of time. And then you can even have it dry overnight on just a tray as well. Just so we don't want any moisture going into the dish, because that would create more slime and gooiness that we don't want.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do first is we're just going to cut off the heads and the tails, just like so, okay? And then about an inch thick, we're going to just slice them right through. And you can see a little bit of the gooiness there. But that'll disappear when you add an acid to this vegetable. So a tomato, vinegar, or a lemon. And that's, if you need it necessarily, you can add it at the end of your dish, the lemon. So we're just going to cut those up. And then we're going to fry this. So okra can be made, people use breadcrumbs to fry it up, just different ways. What we're doing is we're going to use our very nice different spices to make this really unique and a party in your mouth, so to speak. So I've already gone ahead and cut up our ingredients. So super easy and simple. Onions, a little bit of tomatoes, some fresh ginger. So Indian curries, there's powders and there's sauces, okay? So what we're gonna do today is actually, in my cooking, I actually don't use curry powder. I use a spice that I wanna show you called Gutta Masala. So this is the spice tin that we're going to use today for our cooking. Are you up for the challenge to try new spices?
I am. Yeah. I need to learn because I have my base ones, but you know, Indian spice, I want to start using more of them. So I'm very excited to learn.
Excellent. The key to using these spices is learning how to use the right melody of spices, but using a generous amount. People get confused. There's a pinch of this, a dash of that. That's actually not the key. You want to actually be very generous with your spices, okay? So the middle spice, I actually make this myself. Actually, my mother does, thanks to Mom. It's called Gutta Masala, and it's a full process, but you can get this at any local grocery store, the Gutta Masala spice. And then we have our complementary spices as well. Should we start cooking?
Yes, okay. I'm hungry. This smells amazing, the spices.
So what we're going to do is we're just going to get our frying pan on a medium heat here. and we're going to add some olive oil to your pan. So if you add a little extra olive oil, so 2 to 4 tablespoons is great for this recipe. The more oil you add, the more crispy your okra is going to be. Okay,
Perfect.
Otherwise known as the lady fingers as well. All right, so I'm just going to put that aside for a second. So I don't want to add any extra moisture, so I wouldn't put the lid back on this the pan at all. Get that a little bit heated. So what we're going to start off with is adding some cumin seeds. Okay, toast them up. Just generously add to the pan about a teaspoon or so.
Now this toasting, it brings out the flavor
Yeah,
more?
so they're gonna,
Okay.
when you start to smell the fragrance of it, it's going to bring out the flavor of the cumin seeds for sure. And we're going to toast that up, like so. We're going to add some fresh ginger. So curries are like, basically they are, the base of curries is onion, garlic, and ginger. All right, not every single recipe. It's going to pop because of the water, so we got to watch out, watch out. I was afraid of that, but that's
an
okay.
explosion of flavor, that's what it is.
That's okay.
Right, so today's avocado do's and don'ts, since we're talking about spice, don't be afraid to add spice. I think that is something people get scared of. They think it's going to be too spicy, it's going to overpower the dish, but really it adds flavor and there's so many nutritional benefits. So avocado, try different spices and different recipes. My #1 favorite, and we're going to be using it in the dish today, the bindi, is ginger. So ginger is really good for digestion. If you feel like you have a bit of indigestion, ginger is an amazing thing you could add. And why I also like ginger is it's also good for people with IBS. So sometimes if you have IBS, garlic is a little hard on your stomach and your intestines, but ginger doesn't bother people as much with IBS. So I'm so excited to try that today in our lovely Indian dish. Another very, very popular spice is the turmeric. So this has a beautiful bright color, and that's actually from the active compound curcumin. It's anti-inflammatory, and it's really good also for gut health. So I usually recommend adding it to, I've put it in my smoothies sometimes, and it's really found a lot in Indian cooking. That's why we're going to be adding it today. Cinnamon. So cinnamon is a great thing because it's been known to actually slightly reduce your blood sugar. So, you know, you do need quite a bit, but it's something great to add to your lattes instead of sugar. So you add flavor, but you're also adding nutrition. Oh, cayenne pepper, that's going to give a little heat to our dish today, but it also actually helps a little bit boost your metabolism, not too much, right? But there is some research to show it slightly boosts our metabolism, and it also helps suppress our appetite a little bit, maybe because it's so spicy, right? So avocado, try this. You won't be disappointed.
So we're going to add the okra to kind of cut back on the popping of the ginger. That's just the water retention in the ginger that's causing that to pop. So maybe after you grate it, just squeeze out that excess water. That might be an easier way. So we're going to add the okra. So you're just going to toast this, brown this for a couple of minutes. Okay.
And like I always mention, it's good to try different fruits and vegetables. So if you've never had okra before, this seems relatively simple. So
yeah,
I'm excited to try.
Yeah, this is a very simple dish, and it's a nice side dish to any of your curries that you're cooking for the evening.
Right.
And it's, like I said, a couple ingredients, but then having the right spices will make it a pop in your mouth.
Right.
Okay. So we toast that away. So okra is great. It has potassium in it. It's got vitamin B, vitamin C in it. It's actually a low-calorie vegetable as well. So.
Right, and I find pretty well any vegetable such good because you're gonna get the fiber, the nutrients, and it's usually low in calories too,
right? We want to add the rest of our okra. That was just our little sample. Yeah, might as well get all the suckers in there.
It's got some good vitamin K in it too, which is good for your blood.
Yeah. Whoops. Perfect. Another way. So I use a spice called Gutta Masala, and it has 12 different spices in it. Main base is coriander, cumin, and then it has cloves in it. It has bay leaves, red chilies, black pepper, black cardamom. It's got quite a few different ones. It's got mace, which is nutmeg of a skin, in there as well. Cinnamon's in here too, in the Gutta Masala.
So basically everything you need.
Yeah, and everything you guys would do in your normal cooking, right?
Right,
Daily cooking. Bay leaf you've used, peppers, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But then it's roasted and then it's ground and then it's turned into this wonderful spice in the middle here. This is what we call, every Indian household has a thali, or what we call a dabba. So that means a box or a tin. And then it's contained in a nice stainless steel container like that, so all the spices are not smelling up the whole kitchen when you walk in, so it's nice and confined that way. And so now we're going to add our onions. So this is one chopped onion. It's going to go in there. And as I mentioned before, the tomato adds as a barrier to kind of get that little bit of that gooiness out of okra. Okra is usually used in some kind of gumbos, right? And I was actually away in Jamaica, and they were making a steamed fish, and they were using it at the very end, okra, which I thought was a really good idea to add it to some fish too. Add some tomato.
And I guess that's the acidity of our dish, right?
Yep. And if you feel like it still has a little bit too much stickiness, you want to add, you'll just cut it with a little bit of lemon at the end. Okay? So.
And tomatoes are one of those vegetables that are actually a little bit healthier cooked, right?
Right.
And I find a lot of people prefer cooked vegetables, so this is a great way to get it in.
Yep, excellent. Yeah, some people don't like raw tomatoes, so.
Yeah.
So this is like a masala. So this is basically, it's a blend of spices and your ingredients to put together here. So now we're going to add the fun stuff. So we're going to add our turmeric. Turmeric can be used in all kinds of different dishes. It's one of the healthiest spices in the world, right?
Yeah. In terms of like gut health, inflammation, it probably has the most research in terms of a spice.
Yeah.
And so you'll see it popping up in a lot of places like turmeric tea, and you can add to rice, that kind of stuff. Or in your smoothie as well.
Yeah.
It's a good option.
Yeah, I actually add it in my smoothies. We're going to add that famous special secret ingredient, the Gutta Masala. Okay, I added a little kick of cayenne pepper to add the heat. You can add fresh chilies to this as well. Depends what you like, what your palate can handle.
Right.
You can add fresh chilies to this, or you can add a little bit of cayenne to get that kick.
Nice.
Okay.
I like a little spice.
Salt and pepper there.
Yes.
Yeah, spicier. I grew up in a household where my mom ate chilies raw, fresh green chilies. So I'm used to
not
hot,
that intense, but I like a little. Probably everyone's level of heat's a little different though.
a little bit of salt.
Yummy. It
Okay.
smells so good in
Helps
here.
to balance all the different spices we just used. And even though we have some pepper in the Gutta Masala, we'll use a little bit more just to give it a kick. Okay. So this would cook for another 5 to 7 minutes until it's tender. And voila, you've got a great different side dish to your dinner.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to make a rice pilau, and we're going to start that off with the secret to making amazing rice is the pot.
Okay. Yeah, because I remember my rice doesn't turn out. That's one thing I can't make. It's right.
Yeah, so when you were at my class, remember we were talking about this pot? So you want a 10-inch or a 12-inch skillet. So we've got about 1.5 cups of basmati rice that we're going to add to 3 cups of water. It's the same portions to any rice that you would be making. And then we're going to just get this on a little bit, and we're going to add the flavor to this rice. So you're having company, you want to make something a little bit nicer than just boiling plain rice.
Right.
So we're going to add a little bit of oil to our pan so that the skillet helps keep the rice separated from each other. Of course, it's still going to pile on top of each other, but it's not as starchy as well. And you're going to flavor it up with some cumin seeds again. Get those toasting. Okay. Just grab my little thali here.
I need to get some cumin seeds.
Yeah, so these nice whole cumin seeds really add the flavors into your dishes. Then we're going to add some cinnamon, okay? Whole cinnamon sticks and some bay leaves. And we're going to add some whole cloves. We're going to add, before I add the rice, we're going to add the onions, my mistake there. And we sliver those onions up. So you want to toast this up till the onions get a little bit of brown. And and just get the fragrance of the cinnamon in there. Okay. But yeah, did you ever think the pot was the secret? That's the secret. Nobody realizes. Yeah, when I watched my mom
overcooking it. Or...
Yeah, and my mom and my aunts, they would always use this wide skillet, and I'd be like, what is that about? So I learned the traditional, authentic ways of making the Indian food.
I've never added spices and onion to my rice.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see the difference.
And the only other ingredient as far as spices go is the salt. Okay. But the actual dry ingredients here, the cinnamon and the fresh ones, are going to really bring in lots of flavor into your basmati rice. We add some peas as well at the end too, once it's all toasted with our rice, just to give it a little bit of color. You add a little bit more nutrients to your dish. So.
And so we just cook this for about
3 minutes or so, just until it gets a little brown.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so those are nicely toasted for us and it's nicely browned. We're going to add our basmati rice. Another little tip is also to wash your rice, to rinse it out. Okay, so we've already rinsed out the rice.
Usually you rinse it out a few times.
Yeah, rinse it out nice and thoroughly, and it just gives it, gets a little bit rid of the starch, any of the particles.
Right.
This is basmati rice, so you want to make sure it's nice and clean. You don't have to necessarily toast that, you can just add that right in. Add about half a cup of peas.
Get more vegetables in.
Yeah, you can even add a mix of frozen vegetables if you'd like, with the small carrots and peas and green beans. Wow, there you go.
And how much water?
So it's 1.5 cups of rice to 3 cups of water, okay? And a little bit of salt. If you want to pinch and throw in some salt there for me, I'll leave that up to you.
Perfect.
A little bit more. I love my salt. Excellent, excellent. And then you turn that to a medium heat, because we're using and then the lid goes on. You don't want to disturb the rice too much while it's cooking, so that it will prevent it from sticking. And then afterwards, when all the water's evaporated, you basically give it a nice stir very gently, and then your rice is done. What do you think?
Yeah, it smells so good. You can
Right?
smell the cinnamon, definitely.
Yeah,
I'm so excited to try.
Okay, so we're going to plate that now with our bindi. So the other little tip with rice is you want to use it from the outer edges to the pot. So you don't want to upset the rest of the rice. And the reason is you don't want to get it cold and sticky. Okay, so that's another little trick or tip. There you go. And if you get any of the cloves or the cinnamon, you want to just put that right in the bowl. That is totally fine. And the, the person eating it will just move it aside. It gives it a little bit of drama, right?
And you just put it on the side or on top?
On top is fine, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And like I said, you can eat this over rice, so you can have it with the roti or the naan bread. Excellent. And I'll pass that over to me.
Perfect.
And I will throw some fresh cilantro on that. You love cilantro, right?
Yes. I love it.
Yeah, people love it or hate it, right? Depends on that gene that they're born with.
Yeah.
So I always have to ask at my cooking classes, do you guys love cilantro? Because if they don't, I have to kind of be a little bit more careful with using the spice. But it is used in a lot of Indian dishes, the cilantro.
Smells so good.
Okay.
All right, bon appetit.
Bon appetit, I was about to say. Tell me what you think.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to try the different flavors. It's really good. I like, definitely has a bit of spice, a little kick, and the okra is not too gummy, but it still has a nice, interesting texture, and then the tomato gives a nice citrus flavor to it too. Really good.
It turned out really well.
Yeah, I could definitely eat this every day.
Yeah, some people eat it as a whole meal. Like if they want to just go for a nice low-calorie dish, absolutely. For sure, for sure. And I had a class at my house. I teach them there as well. And I had a vegan class. This is a vegan gluten-free dish, right? And all of the guests at my house were not vegans. But one thing I wanted to share with you is that people are trying to eat more plant-based food.
Yeah.
And I was so shocked they came to a vegan class because I offer butter chicken, all these meat dishes, but they thought that Indian food is the most flavorful vegetarian because of the spices. So I thought that was really cool.
And it really highlights the vegetables because it brings out the flavor of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So thank you so much,
Oh
Sylvia.
my God. Thanks for having me. Love to be here. And let's have a little cheers of our iced tea in our beautiful wine glasses, but of course
with
we're having
iced tea.
Iced tea.
to bring down the heat too. It's delicious though.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. And I'm definitely going to, for my mission, try some of these other amazing spices and check back with you later. Eve, and I'm checking in on my mission. So my mission this week was to add more spices to my diet. So the first thing I actually did was I went through my cupboard and checked what I had, and I had a whole lot of spices I don't use and that were expired. So kind of went threw out a lot, and then I kind of put my spices that I like together, and I found I really liked the spice blends because it makes it so much easier when I'm cooking just to grab, you know, a blend of spice like a za'atar or a Gutta Masala and put it on my veggies as opposed to getting a little parsley, a little this and a little that. And I also started to add a lot more ginger. So my go-to is garlic, love my garlic, but I tried to add a little more ginger and I found it really added flavor and also helped with my digestion, which I really liked. And then turmeric, I added it to my smoothies, something I like to do, and it helps me get it in every day if I add it to my smoothies, and I can't really taste it that much. It gives it a little bit of a spiciness, but it's a good way to get it in every day. And fun fact, you can add turmeric to your pasta water and it makes your pasta turn a bright color, but you're also going to get some of the health benefits from that. So it was kind of cool. It was fun. It helped me kind of revamp my dishes. It also added great flavor. So it was lots of fun. And I'm definitely going to try to incorporate more spices coming up. So if you know any challenge that you want to do or me, let me know. Let's do this challenge together and definitely try to add some more spices into your own diet. And we'll see you next time on Mission Nutrition.